Hey, listen, if you're a top-end producer right now and you're thinking about making a change, you might want to talk with Geneva because they are looking for you. Again, only if you're thinking of moving, talk with these guys. You can get there by clicking this banner right over there. By the way, I don't know if you heard this, but the CFPB has dropped their worksheet. Yes, and I can only hope that we had something to do with that. If you recall, their worksheet was a big, convoluted mess of questions that your consumers were supposed to try to figure out. To let you know, me and Frank looked at this whole thing and we couldn't figure it out. So anyways, that's gone. So what we do over here right now at the National Real Estate Post, we applaud you, CFPB.
We're applauding.
We applaud you.
Applauding.
Applauding, lots of applauding. But anyways, on some lighter news, TRID, yes, TRID. TRID's working. Did you hear? TRID, it's working. Now, actually, the title of the article that I read that said, TRID works. More homebuyers actually review mortgage documents. Now, I posted a comment that read, I call BS. This is funny. Loan docs have doubled in size over the past decade. It's not uncommon for docs to exceed 400 pages. Nobody's reading 400 pages. Nobody. TRID represents less than 1% of the set of docs. If you want people to read them, have fewer of them. And the response we got? It was a little mixed.
Yeah, in fact, Todd Bitter said, I'll sort of take up for TRID just a little. So far, TRID for me has been a very tiny inconvenience, but I do think it's caused borrowers to pay a little closer attention to the LE and the CD. I find myself going over these forms in detail more. Granted, it's because they are way harder to read for the average consumer than the old GFE and HUDs. But due to this, they're asking more questions. As far as the remaining 100 plus pages of docs, they're still looked over and not read. I hear all these stories of delays, and I'm personally about 30 million funded since TRID started with 0 issues, but I'm dealing with high credit and higher income buyers that don't have nearly the issues that FHA type loans have.
I like what he says. More questions because it's more confusing, but it's all working out. Now, of course, TRID delays will continue to shrink, and hopefully the CFPB will provide greater clarity and leniency for continued delays and integration. But let's look at how TRID's working.
The American Land Title Association, or ALTA's survey, which is based on a comparison of data collected before TRID to data collected post-TRID, showed that nearly 20% more homebuyers are reviewing their closing documents in the post-TRID world.
You know, people can just throw out statements, and, you know, honestly, my question is, how do you qualify that statement? How do you know that 20% more are looking at their docs? Because the survey goes on to say that 92% surveyed are taking the time to review their docs now, whereas 74% prior to TRID. Is the survey's question simply, did you or didn't you look at your docs? Or did they quiz the participant to not only see if they're reviewing their documents, but rather, and more importantly, understanding their documents? Because at the end of the day, isn't that what we really want? I'd think so, yet this information is absent from anything that I read.
Further, if people are in fact looking at their documents more now than pre-TRID, do you think it's due to the extended, unilaterally unwanted waiting period rather than the actual truth in lending integrated form? Again, more of a question than a statement. Not really.
And further, do you think it's possible that any peak in review or questioning has come from within the industry, from escrow lawyers and mortgage companies as a means of getting comfortable with these forms themselves? Just like we read from one of our comments. Probably, but hey, more reviewing, it's not a bad thing.
And one of our friends and a great loan officer, Hans Bruner, said, that is exactly what happened in my business, Brian. You are so expletive, cynical, man. Well, maybe he's right, and maybe looking at this every day without meaningful input from the industry that actually makes it to rulemaking has made us cynical. But as always, we have a solution if anyone's willing to listen.
Pretty simple, actually, and we already stated it. If you want consumers to not only review, but better understand their mortgage documents, I mean, if that's the goal, integrating two forms isn't the solution. Now, granted, it isn't the problem. The industry is and will continue to adapt. But if you want consumers to better understand their loan docs, check it out. Have fewer loan docs. It's not uncommon to see loan packages north of 400 pages. Gregory Smith said he actually had a file with over 800 pages, and everyone on the thread, realtor, lender, and title alike, may have disagreed over the current effectiveness of TRID, but nobody disagreed that the solution for consumer understanding is fewer pages and doc packages. Perhaps if lenders were not so CYA, get it, sensitive,
That's what she said.
and with a little help from the industry enforcement agencies, y'all can work at trimming the fat in these loan packages. Seriously, imagine a world where loan packages were south of 100 pages. Then and only then will consumers not feel overwhelmed and tune it out. It's just a thought. So, is TRID working as designed? I guess, my friends, it depends on your vantage point.
It's true, man. You can't really trust a survey. It just says, hey, did you review your documents, yes or no? I mean, well, okay, yeah.
How do you qualify that?
No. You
But
know,
more importantly, oh yes, I did review them. Did you understand them? Not a damn word.
You didn't ask me that. You know what I mean? I mean, and plus, you know, a lot of times a borrower, if they're getting surveyed, they might feel like, well, you know, I better say yes.
Sure.
Just, you know, I better say yeah.
Sure.
You know, just you know. So I think you're right. I don't think you can really trust that.
You
that
can't,
type
and
of
it's not reviewing, it's understanding. I mean, we're
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
the wrong questions. It's not reviewing, it's understanding.
yeah.
And with 400, 500, 600 pages, nobody's doing that.
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe those questions were asked, we just didn't see it, but I got a feeling you're probably right. It was probably a pretty general questioning that, you know, wouldn't make those numbers very accurate. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know down below. How's TRID going for you? And forward, share, and subscribe for in the upper right-hand corner. We'll catch you tomorrow here at the National Real Estate Post.
Later, skaters.
Bye.
Bye.